What's up? What's going down? Today's Wednesday. I don't know how this is going to turn out. Shout out to AAP for making copyright-free music and allowing people to use it. I found this awesome guy, AAP, and his wife on YouTube. Awesome people. And then we find out we live like 5-10 minutes from each other. Anyways, I've lived in the same city my whole life, all 40 years. And I'm a little bit of a history buff when it comes to where I'm from in my town. So I'm going to talk about Lansing, Michigan. I found a book online. City in the Forest, the story of Lansing. I did not pay what it says on there, $2 on 10/11/2013. That was an old sticker from somewhere. Someone had bought this. I bought it from online. I don't think there's $1. I don't remember how much this was. But this book, I believe, is from 1951, if I remember right. 1950. And it talks a lot about Lansing, Michigan and how it came about. And I bought this book online. And it's cool because of the stuff that's in it. You know, it has some old pictures. Talks about Lansing and some of its beginnings. The very interesting thing, the book is neat in itself, and it tells of how Lansing was begun by someone, and we have the Grand River that runs through town, and this man built a windmill and some buildings and brought people here and started a city. And in 1837, I think I might have these numbers mixed up. 1837, maybe it was 1835. They decided Lansing was going to be the capital, or they decided they had to move the capital and decide where it was going to be. Well, it took them 12 years to decide it would be Lansing, and a lot of that was because of this guy who came here and started this city from scratch. And the cool thing is that inside this book was this article from 1954. This was tucked inside the book, with one side's talking about the H-bomb viewed as lion in cage, and then the other side is about bringing up a family. And there's a picture of a woman. This was tucked in the book, and it's been there for so long, it's stained the book. So I don't know where this came from, who bought it from somewhere, and then I ended up with it. Cool book. The other one is this. Out of a Wilderness, an illustrated history of Greater Lansing. And this is neat because it really gives an in-depth look and pictures. Lansing, Michigan is widely known at one time as being a huge car manufacturing area. My dad actually worked at the Oldsmobile plant where they built Oldsmobiles here in Lansing. He worked at one of the original plants for many, many years. A lot of history in this book. A lot of different stuff about Lansing, and just trying to find a picture. Is this it? Workers. outside the Beement plant. They made stoves and agricultural implements. This was the bridge on Michigan Avenue, leading right up to the Capitol. Really cool book. Again, out of the wilderness. And then, this is a newer one. City on the Grand, Lansing. 1836 through 1939. This is a newer book, but it uses all sorts of old pictures from libraries and different media outlets where they could find pictures historically relevant. Michigan School of the Blind was nationally known at one time. Began in 1871. These railroad tracks are in an area of Lansing called Old Town. These railroad tracks are near Turner Street and Grand River. If you drive by there, you know where that is, or know where the Tasty Freeze is, or the Arctic Corner, whatever that thing is on the Arctic Corner, I think. It's near there. This is in 1870. Pretty cool stuff. See if I can find another relevant or, cool picture to look at. This is cool. This is a map of Lansing from 1929. It seems boring, but for me, I look at it and there's no highway going through the city both directions. There's the original layout of streets before a lot of development and stuff. To me, it's fascinating. There's a lot of pictures in here that interest me that, others probably wouldn't even care about. This is a picture of the Capitol, Michigan Avenue, and the Grand River. Nowadays, it's all cleaned up and it's all developed, and there's a really cool river walk. We have the Grand River that goes right through the city, and we have a river walk. And you can walk it, you can kayak it. And you have two different parts of town. You have Old Town, where it all started. You have Rio Town, where Lansing was first plotted. And it's a really cool city, and that's why I've never left. All 40 years of my life. This is the coolest one of the three. City in the Forest, the story of Lansing. This was written in 1950. Lansing was a giant forest. The whole area. And then it had a river running through it. There was Native Americans everywhere. Shout out AAP. Best to you and your family. This is the music he makes. This is track number 25 that I can't stop listening to. Anyways. Love each other. Appreciate each other. Take care of them kids. I'm out.